My 36 male, eldest 19 female TM, came out as trans and my wife, 37 female, is struggling to accept it. Last week my eldest came out as trans. It wasn't a complete surprise I thought, but basically everyone else seemed surprised. My wife tried to be accepting and supportive but did act weird about it. At first I assumed it was just because it was a surprise to her, but last night my wife told me she was uncomfortable with it. Apparently she believes LGBT, isn't natural, and all that. I was shocked because I have friends who are and my wife has always gotten along great with them. Plus I wouldn't say she's particularly religious. My wife basically explained it is while she doesn't approve, it's not her place to say anything or judge. So she was able to be friends with them, but since it's our daughter, she struggles to hide how she feels about it. She basically feels ashamed, like she failed as a mother. As well as admitting a part of her is disgusted by our son, even though she loves him. My wife said she wants to be a good mother and thinks it's best to be supportive, but she doesn't think she can just pretend to be okay with it. I'm not really sure how to deal with this. I don't think my wife is a bad person, she means well. I do plan to support my son, regardless though. I definitely don't think it's a good idea for my wife to discuss this with him, obviously. But I'm not sure how to address this myself. We talked, but I doubt I'll be able to change her beliefs so easily. Still, even if my wife believes what she does, I still need to protect and support my son. How should we go about this? What can my wife do to at least make this work in a healthy way? TLDR, my eldest is trans. My wife hasn't said anything to him, but told me she doesn't believe in LGBT. She isn't sure how to proceed, and I'm not sure how to help her address this. I would really suggest therapy of some kind for your wife. She doesn't seem hateful, but just that there is something she isn't able to cope with herself. I'd reach out to an organization like PFLAG for support for parents of LGBTQ+. It's been a week. Obviously, this is deeply concerning, but try to remember it's been a week. Parents often have to grieve for the heterosexual or cisgendered life they imagine for their child. For now, I'd look for resources and readings meant for parents to share with your wife, while also giving her some space to grieve the life she had imagined for your kid. It's probably not wise for your wife to speak to him, but having contact with other parents who can relate to what she's feeling right now, but who came to a better understanding and full celebration of their child, is probably where she'll find the most empathy and guidance. Check out the podcast How to Be a Girl. It's from a mum's perspective. Start at the beginning. Episodes are short. It's empathetic to the range of parental emotion and eye-opening re the trans experience. She might feel like her baby died and got replaced with someone else and may be partially grieving who her child used to be in her eyes. It's not a rational feeling, but it is a common one for some parents. She needs therapy. She doesn't think she can just pretend to be okay with it. Well, she can and she should. It sounds like she's at least willing to make an effort to not let her feelings show. Good on you for being a supportive father, BTW. In your position, I imagine it's hard to find out someone you love holds bigoted views. It's up to you how you move forward, but for me it would be a pretty big issue. Maybe suggest she engage with PFLAG. There might be a group in your area. By no means am I an expert on family counseling. This is just my thought. You don't need to change her beliefs, and it's not likely that she ever will anyway. She's having a hard time accepting it. That's on her. She literally just found out. Give her some time. And reassure your son. Please protect your son from your wife. Put both in separate therapy at least. Please stand by your son on this, as it's already hard enough being trans without your own family rejecting you. Source: Am trans. Do you think it might be the potential loss of grandchildren? What I mean is, for example, I know a mother who has one child and her son is gay. She loves him with all her heart and never treated him differently and has been completely accepting of him. However, she admitted, not to him, she is deeply saddened by the thought she may now never have grandchildren. You say eldest, so it might not be a thought of potential grandchildren all in one basket, but it could be a factor on a subconscious level. You know your son is still a biological girl, right? No amount of surgery can change that dude. Of course trans people exist, but not everyone is going to have the same beliefs as you. It wasn't a complete surprise, I thought. In my experience, whenever anyone says this, they have a list of sexist stereotypes that someone doesn't fit, so of course the person is trans. Face with rolling eyes. I've never met a trans person that didn't have childhood trauma. In my opinion, very different than exploring another side of someone's sexuality, cross-dressing. Start there to unpack the issues. Was there some sort of serious life event your wife knows, feels guilty about,